Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I apologize that we're starting a few minutes late.
Why?
Commissioner Lee said why. We had important business going on. All right. Let's start with introductions, and then we'll tee it up to the manager.
Good afternoon. I am Christine Smith, Clerk to the Board.
Good afternoon. I am Marlissa Easton, Deputy Clerk to the Board.
Good afternoon. I am Mecklenburg County Commissioner Elaine Powell, representing Huntersville, Davidson, Cornelius, and North Charlotte.
Good afternoon. I'm Laura Meyer, and I represent District 5.
Good afternoon. I'm Susan Rodriguez McDowell, elected by the people of District 6.
Good afternoon again, everyone. I'm Mark Jarrell. I've been elected by the people of District 4. Also have the honor of serving as chairman of the board.
Good afternoon. My name is Vilma D. Leak, and I represent the most powerful district in the county, and that's District 2. Do we have any senior citizens in here today? One. Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon and welcome. And thank you for being here. My name is Arthur Griffin, and I happen to serve as County Commissioner at Large.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I'm Mike Bryant, Mecklenburg County Manager.
Good afternoon, Tyrone Wade, County Attorney.
Good afternoon. I'm Adrian Cox, County Budget Director.
All right. Can we hear from the members of the executive team?
Good afternoon. Derek Ramos, Deputy County Manager and Chief of Staff.
Good afternoon. Michelle Attree, Deputy County Manager.
Good afternoon. Leslie Johnson, Deputy County Manager.
I know Dr. Campbell was here somewhere, but
She's here.
join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, before I turn it over to the manager, let me start the way we typically start, and that is just to remind us what our mission, our vision, and our priorities are. As you all are aware, those are the elements and variables that guide our discussion and inform our decisions. So our mission is to serve Mecklenburg County residents by helping improve lives and community. Our vision, Mecklenburg County will be a community of pride and choice for people to live, learn, work, and recreate. Our FY 26-27 board budget priorities are economic development, education, environmental stewardship, health, equity, and wellness, services for seniors, workforce development, and reducing racial disparities. Today, we're here for a detailed budget overview, and with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to the county manager, the TSO.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon again. As you've noted, you have one item on your agenda today, and it is certainly an important item. This is your opportunity to receive details regarding my recommendation for fiscal year 2027 for your consideration. In addition to receiving specific details, of course, you have the opportunity to ask questions as well. You do have a hard copy of the presentation in front of you. And with that, unless you have any questions, I'm going to ask Chair that you recognize our Budget Director, Mr. Adrian Cox.
Adrian, you are recognized, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Chairman Jarrell, members of the board, as well as county staff. Today, we're going to provide you with a detailed overview of the manager's recommended budget and answer any questions that you may have. We are not facilitating specific adjustments to the recommended budget today, but providing information to prepare you for budget straw votes that are scheduled for next Thursday here in this conference center. I'm going to go over a series of sections, and I will pause after each one to see if there are any questions. Beginning with a summary of the recommended budget, then investments for CMS and Central Piedmont. I'll review the other major investments within each department. I will cover the recommended budget to support law enforcement and fire protection service districts. Lastly, JP, our Executive Director for MEDIC, will join me to discuss the budget for MEDIC. And then I'll close out with next steps in our budget process. As a reminder, here's a chart that I shared with you last week. This shows our total county dollars. And although county dollars are growing, you can see that they are growing at a lower rate. Our estimate for 2027 is $47 million across our general and debt service fund, or only 25% of growth, or 2.5% of growth. This slide shows the total recommended budget totaling $2.6 billion. The total budget has grown by 1.8%, but excluding the pass-through transit funding that was part of the budget in fiscal year 26 and one-time fund balance, the total budget is increasing by 2.9%. Our general fund totals $1.9 billion and makes up 73% of the budget. Debt service and pay-as-you-go totals $457 million. Special revenue and enterprise funds include code enforcement, solid waste, stormwater, and law enforcement and fire protection service districts. These total to $230 million. County dollars in the general fund are increasing by $39 million, adding an additional $31 million by transferring 1 penny of property tax will bring the total growth in the general fund to $70 million and avoid the need for a tax rate increase. So here's a summary of the general fund county dollars within our, well, hold on, I think one of my slides is missing. Okay, let me jump ahead. Our debt service fund totals $457 million, and it is used to make annual debt payments and to provide funding for projects over multiple years. The chart on the top shows the revenue in the debt service fund, which includes 10.57 cents of property tax, restricted sales tax, and some other revenues specifically for funding capital. In the chart below, I have broken out expenses into 2 categories: our annual debt payment for next year and the funding that goes to fund capital projects going forward. Moving 1 cent from the debt service fund to the general fund for fiscal year 2027 does not endanger our ability to pay debt obligations in any way. It will result in reduced project funding in the future, and this change has been taken into account as we assess the CIP. So this is what our capital funding model looked like last year. The green bars reflect the cash balance out to 2035. The model assumes a 2-cent tax increase in 28, 1 for CMS and 1 for county projects, and 1 cent in 2029 for CMS again. The model assumes $150 million in CMS projects beginning in 2029. These are 100% debt funded. And the model assumes $150 million in county projects. Here is the model with the penny shifted from the debt service fund to the general fund. This is before we make any changes to the planned projects. 2 important takeaways. First, without making any changes, we have a 5-year runway to assess the CIP before running into any issues. The 5-year rolling CIP allows for flexibility to make changes along the way based on changes in needs, priorities, or economic conditions. Second, we need to make some adjustments to the projects as we assess the CIP while we are taking this pause. So you have the flexibility to move a penny this year to where it is needed in the operating budget while we assess the CIP and avoid a tax rate increase. So here again is the summary of our general fund county dollars. And you can see property taxes are estimated to grow by $26 million, or 2.3%. Unrestricted sales tax is projected to grow by $14 million. And all other county dollars are expected to be slightly lower for next year. Shifting 1 penny to the general fund adds that $31 million to the available county dollar revenues, bringing the total to $70 million. So here's our fund balance. We are currently projecting to have $632 million of unassigned fund balance at the end of fiscal year 2026. The policy threshold, factoring the refinements presented to the board at the annual retreat, requires a minimum of 25% of general fund expenses. This would set aside $436 million as a minimum threshold. The manager is recommending $59 million of fund balance, and this will leave $101 million in fund balance before hitting the threshold, and the total remaining available fund balance will be $538 million.
Recommend
95, yeah. Recommend $95 million in fund balance, which will leave $101 million in fund balance before hitting the threshold, and total remaining available fund balance will be $538 million, or 31% in general fund expenses. The slide summarizes how the county dollars are used to support the manager's recommended budget. I'm going to cover in more detail all of these in some upcoming sections. $26.3 million provides operating funding for CMS and for Central Piedmont. $13.6 million is needed to annualize the cost for salaries and benefits, including new rates for insurance and for retirement. $31.5 million funds salary increases, including merit across the board, and increasing the premium, or increasing the minimum pay to $25.53 per hour for all full-time positions. There's $12 million for increasing costs to sustain current operations, $7 million for new facilities and parks, $10 million for enhancements to services, and federal changes to reimbursement for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program will cost the county $7.5 million, and this will be $10 million for the full year for fiscal year 2028. We are no longer going to be covering Gaston County for the medical examiner services, which will have an impact on the revenues, and some of which will be offset by the expenses. And there is a total of $38 million in offsetting adjustments resulting from our deep dive budget assessment. Here again is a summary of the adjustments that we have identified to offset the county dollars, and they include leveraging OPEB trust consistent with the trust's design, additional department revenue that has been factored into the budget, funding CSGs and the United Way Unite Charlotte grants with fund balance rather than ongoing funds, leveraging unspent child care subsidy funds as we explore ways to accelerate the distribution of these funds in the future. There is $5.4 million in various reductions due to underspending and renegotiated agreements. Repurposing of ongoing funding child development accounts will offset $3 million, and $3.7 million was identified based on operational assessments of utilization and service delivery options. So here is some additional background on the equity investments that have been allocated in the budget over the years. In fiscal year 22 and in 2023, a total of $5 million in one-time fund balance was allocated to support initiatives to be developed by the Equity Investments Committee. $2.5 million has been used to pilot the Gear Up and the Ramp Up programs. The board will be asked to carry forward the remaining funding to continue the pilots for fiscal year 2027, and this has already been netted from the estimated available fund balance. In fiscal year 2024, ongoing funding in the amount of $3 million was added to the budget to establish child development accounts for children participating in MEC Pre-K. These funds have not been spent due to challenges establishing the accounts that would achieve the goals of the program. What we have learned is that the families would not actually own the funds that are placed into these accounts. If they made contributions to the accounts, then the funding that they put in would also have restrictions on it, and this would likely discourage people from contributing. And they would never be able to access these funds directly, which could only be transferred to a North Carolina public education institution. The $9 million of unspent funds for child development accounts is part of the unassigned fund balance that's available in our estimates. So lastly, in this section, how are property taxes used in the budget? The recommended budget maintains the same property tax rate. This chart shows how property taxes are used. 22.4 cents funds the operating cost for the schools. 16.3 cents, along with other revenues, that the county receives funds the county operating and other partners, and 10.57 cent is dedicated to our debt service fund for debt and pay-as-you-go capital for the county and for the schools. So at this point, let me pause and see what questions you may have.
All right, Commissioner Dunlap.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, OPEB, isn't that what pays the retirement?
The other post-employee benefits?
Yeah, that's other post-employment benefits. It is a trust fund where we have put funds into it with the intent to pull them down in order to pay for benefits, and we're at the point, based off discussions with our actuaries, that we can begin utilizing this.
This is good.
So in other words, it won't put anybody's retirement benefits?
It will not.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay, Commissioner Meyer.
Thank you. On slide 11, reduction in reimbursement for SNAP administration, that's from the bill, right? The federal bill.
That's right.
And so right now, it's going to be 7 million, and then what did you say in 28?
It'll be 10 million in 28. Okay. And this is the money that we will not get.
We will not get.
Still have the cost. This is
Right,
money we-
right. And then on 12, CSGs, did you have a limit in mind before you started making those decisions on who was going to receive grants?
So these are former CSGs that we baselined into the budget as vendors, and we are bringing back the CSG process to be competitive, and we are funding those with fund balance in the budget.
And you also may recall, Commissioner Myers, when we presented to you our new proposed process that you endorsed, that we referenced the funding source would be fund balance. So this decision is consistent with that decision that you supported.
That was
Just
my next
reflected
question, was
in
can you remind
27.
me of what the deal, okay, that's all. Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Rodriguez McDowell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Okay. Can you go on page, well, I guess it's page 8. I'm still back struggling a little bit with understanding the 1 cent shift because I thought that CIP was one-time funding, so I don't understand shifting the penny into operational, because I know when we did that previously, then we had to make up for the deficit in a future year. So can you just talk through that?
Yeah, so this is ongoing funding. So in the current year, we have 11.5 cents of property taxes, which are going into this debt service fund. The debt service fund pays our current year debt, and it also provides a funding source for future capital.
Okay, stop right there.
Okay?
You just said it's ongoing funding. So that explains why it's different from.
That's right. This isn't fund balance.
You're getting twisted because it's funding capital, which is
Right.
a one-time expense.
Okay,
But it's funded with revenue that is ongoing, baseline dollars, that instead of it going into the operating budget, we allocate it to the capital budget.
okay. And so that's not going to hurt
No,
the future
not at all.
CIP?
Not at all. And David, keep me honest here and feel free to comment on it, because what this chart on the right-hand side shows, this recommendation to shift 1 cent, you won't feel or see the impact of that until fiscal year 2032. See the red line there?
Yeah.
So we have a long runway to account for this decision. And because you allowed us to press pause on our CIP, the decision points that we're looking at, that third bullet and all the sub-bullets under it, the CRC, the land acquisition strategies, long-term operating costs associated with the capital, changing our priorities, reinvestments in current and new, all of that
Okay,
is what we're assessing as part of the pause that we'll be bringing forward to you as early as June in terms of some of the recommendations associated with it. But because of the pause, coupled with shifting that cent, you won't see that impact until 2032. And certainly, we're going to account for that when we bring it forward to you in the coming months.
right.
Does that help?
Yeah, it really does. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And so my last question was on the unspent childcare subsidies. Yeah, can you just talk a little bit about that? Why didn't we spend the $4 million?
So the reason, so it's actually $3 million annually for the child development accounts beginning in 2024. And these
No,
funds
not
have
child
not.
development. Sorry, it's the child
Oh,
care.
I'm sorry.
Child care subsidies of $4 million.
Yes. So that's something that we're looking into. This is, of course, we work with, there is an administrator that we work with to provide these funds. We have some unspent funds, and so we're going to be able to carry those forward and explore how do we get these funds out into the community.
Okay, I would sure love to talk more about that with whoever the person, like, I want to understand better, more detail.
Comment on that, Dr. Campbell?
Good afternoon. Thank you for the question. So there are some administrative processing challenges with the vendor, in addition to the requirement to spend down the state subsidy that are preventing them from being able to spend down all of the county's contribution in the space. So Tim and his team have met with them, looking at opportunities for improving their processes in order to get at the unspent dollars that I think in this community have continued year over year, right?
Correct.
We have connected that vendor with our Department of Community Resources in terms of looking at their processes and how they're able to move money through the system. So really trying to shore up their practices. So we're currently working on that.
Yeah, there's a historical trend of underspending this budget. It's just been sitting there, for lack of better words. Because administratively, there's some reasons behind it. There's some reasons behind it, and we're working with the administrators to improve that. So to Adrian's point, we're going to carry forward the existing dollars so that it's there. So when we have the improvements, that we're ready to go. So we're not eliminating it for the current fiscal year, but we are repurposing the dollars for next fiscal year to support some of your priorities. And we're confident that we can work with the administrators to see some improvement behind spending. But the point I'm making is there has been a trend of underspending. So when we completed our deep dive assessment, that's one of the opportunities that we saw to repurpose in 27 to support some of the interests that you have while working to improve and make sure these dollars get spent.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Sure. Commissioner Powell.
Thank you. So when we pushed the pause on CIP, we didn't say 5 years, did we? I don't remember saying 5 years.
I don't believe you all specified. You said that you were going to pause it, allow us to do an assessment of all of the projects. I simply mentioned the 5 years because you have a 5-year runway based upon the current projects that are in there before you run into any issues. So we're confident that we have time to do this assessment.
So two things. We're not pausing it for 5 years. We're just taking this moment to reassess. There's no impact on 27, and then it is our intent for 28 that we'll bring it forward, provide you recommendations so we can move forward accordingly. The reason why Adrian's calling out the rolling CIP is that it gives us opportunities each year to update projects and to see exactly what the need is from a fiscal purpose so we can ensure that it remains current instead of being stagnant over a 5-year period.
Thank you. And so, because this is something new, I do have questions about, you said there could be reduced project funding in the future, and I'm thinking, like, you guys are really smart in this. And at NCACC, they were talking about, when you're in a pinch, like usually people go into the CIP to survive, so you don't have to have a tax increase. But what is the risk? Is there a risk, a financial risk?
I'm glad you're calling that out because that was a talking point that Adrian said. It is a fact that, yes, you can view it as less funding, but you have to look at it holistically. And that's why I brought your attention to this table here, because you've given us that pause is going to give us the flexibility to account for this shift that currently, if we do nothing, you won't even see until 2032. But because of the direction you have given us to take a look at our CRCs with the skyrocketing costs and other interests, we feel very comfortable that there'll be no impact. So that talking point that Adrian said, if you look at it solely in isolation, you do get the reaction that you just called out. My ask is that you look at it holistically. not just to shift, but look at where the impact would happen in 2032, and more importantly, the exercise that you all have approved for us to go and assess these projects. If you look at it like that, then again, we're in a good position. So don't just focus solely on that comment that he made, the talking point. I ask that you look at it completely.
And I appreciate that. I just feel like in our job, we have to ask
I get it.
what
No,
the
I
risk
heard
is.
the same thing.
And one more thing, you know, the funding going up for every employee to be $25.53 an hour is here. And I just want to make sure that it's there for every year and that no department has to absorb extra, like to pull it out of their budget. Like, we're providing the funding.
I can't commit to what I'm doing in 28, but certainly in 27, this is no impact to departments, but it is indeed my interest to be the standard and make sure that we continue to pay a living wage to all our employees. I just don't know what the future is going to entail, so I don't want to be on record of saying each year when the cost of living go up and the living wages go up, that the county is going to move along with that. However, I'm in a position this year that I can recommend that increase, because we're going from $20 an hour to $25.53. That's a huge increase.
I know, I just want to make sure that, like, you protect that so that it doesn't hurt the department.
That is the intentions. No, it won't be an impact on the departments, no. We won't ask them to cut to allow us to continue to support that.
I feel like that has happened in the past, and so,
I don't know if I agree with that, but
I don't, well, I mean, I'd need all the numbers, but thank you.
sure.
Commissioner Griffin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, Mr. Manager, no tax increase. Phenomenal. The second piece is, although I wasn't able to be here on Thursday when you made your presentation, that the $25.53 going from $20 to $25. I'm sitting in the auditorium with my granddaughter, and I said, this guy made an elephant dance.
Can't hear you.
I said, this guy made an elephant dance. When I raised that several years ago, I was told, and you remember, it cost $44 million because of compression and decompression and all that technical HR talk. I don't know how you danced, but you did a good dance. I really appreciate it. We have to practice what we preach in terms of living wages, and clearly some of our folk who are dealing with some of the most vulnerable clearly deserve to be paid accordingly. So $25.53. I really appreciate that. I think we report $26.60-some cents, wherever Stacey Lowry is, if she's around here. And our housing studies is $26. So I hope we can stay abreast without damaging everything else. But I heard what you just said in response to Commissioner Powell, and I absolutely appreciate that 100%. I think that we're absolutely moving in the right direction. One of the questions, Adrian, I had, you had the property tax used. You had CMS at $22.40. If you add all of debt service and everything, what would the part of the tax rate CMS would receive?
That's something we'd have to go back and calculate.
Okay.
I will point out, in debt service fund, there is restricted sales tax, and it is restricted for CMS, but there is also property taxes that go.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. We had 49 cents per 100. It'd be interested to see what that total fee looks like out of that 49 cents from my perspective. Other than that, I don't have any additional questions until we get to the next portion of your presentation.
All right, before we move forward, Adrian, there's 4 more sections, correct?
I believe it's 4.
Yeah, I think, so just colleagues, I just want you to be aware that there's 4 more sections that we'll be going through, and I know this next one is going to be meaty as well. So, thank you, Adrian.
Okay. So now I'm going to go over the funding that's included for education. The recommended funding for CMS is $691 million for the ongoing operating, which is an increase of $25 million or 3.8%. $6 million in one-time funding is also included for student devices, and there is $33 million for CMS capital maintenance. Combined, this is a total of $730 million. Here's some more detail, looking at the funding, the county funding for CMS. $9.7 million is recommended for the state-driven salary and benefit increases. $8.8 million will increase the county supplement for certified staff by an average of 5%. The final stage of the 3-year plan to address below-market salaries is $400,000. There is $2.7 million to fund maintenance and operating for 2 new schools that are opening next year. This totals to $31 million in operating for CMS. Last year, the county provided funding for local cost of state salary increases that were not approved by the state. Netting this $6 million of county funding results in a total of $25 million for next year. The budget also includes $6 million in one-time funding for student devices, and it continues to provide nearly $33 million to address maintenance needs. Recommended funding to Central Piedmont is $50.3 million, which is an increase of $1.2 million or 2.5%. Similar to CMS, funding for Central Piedmont is reduced by $250,000 for the local share of salary increases that were not approved by the state last year. Capital maintenance and repair is recommended in the amount of $6.2 million. For Central Piedmont, an increase of $2.2 million will support facility maintenance and utilities and security. There are no vehicles or equipment in 2027, resulting in a decrease over last year's budget. There is a decrease in insurance and legal fees and a decrease in county funding for supplemental wages and benefits due to regular changes in positions, and then netting the state raises from last year brings the total to $1.2 million. Capital maintenance projects total to $6.2 million, which is $2.7 million more than last year, and it includes projects such as HVAC, roof, alarm system, window and chiller replacement projects. So now I'll pause to see what questions you may have.
All right, let me start with Commissioner Leek this time.
Let me first say thank you. I'm concerned about the teachers supplement. What is that going to be for this year?
So when I looked at their budget, I think the supplement, the total dollar amounts, are you talking about the total for supplements or the actual amount?
Yes, total supplement.
Total for supplements, it was about $115 million in total supplements from the county being used to provide supplements throughout.
And that means each teacher would get what?
I do not know that because it varies by position. It'll vary by their experience.
I guess it varies by the number of staff members.
That's right. We could try to get you a detail of what that schedule looks like, but it varies.
Does that mean there's an increase based upon what they got 2 years ago?
Yes.
What was, I guess you don't have that with you.
I don't have it with me.
Thank you. So let me know that, please.
All right.
And my second question, if it's all right with you, Mr. Manager.
You have time, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. CPCC have a lot of workers that are not full-time workers. They're part-time workers. And I'd like to know the separation of those two.
The part-time versus the full-time?
Yes.
Okay.
And if we get the numbers.
We can
Because
do that.
night people, they don't get full salary at CPCC, nor the benefits.
All right. And are you looking specifically for the ones that the county funds or just?
Yes.
All right. All right, we'll reach out.
Can you tell me what the figures look like?
We'll get that for you.
Okay, then, that's
follow
good.
up. Yeah.
I've been asked that by many of the people who work at night.
Yes.
Who are not full-time employees, nor benefits are included in the process, and a greater number of those happen to be men who need the salary increase and need the supplement that is provided.
Yes. Just like in the past, when we receive questions from you that we're not in a position to answer at the moment, we'll get with our partners in this
That's
case,
fine.
and we'll email it out to the full board.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Commissioner Powell.
Thank you. So, you know, I'm not a fan of gap funding for what the state's responsible for because once we start paying it, it becomes forever responsibility. Do you know how much of the $730 million is, the state is responsible for?
It is over 400 million, where we have your question about the overall amount that we are providing due to a void of state funding, and I believe it's over 400 million.
So it's over 400,000 just for CMS?
Over 400 million just for CMS.
Like, it's hard for me to say those words. Like, over 400 million, like, wow. And so when we get this specific, I'll appreciate that. Thank you.
Commissioner Dunlap.
Thank you. While we're on that question about CMS, when we start talking about taxes and increases and reduction, that $400 million that we're paying on behalf of the state amounts to what percent of the tax rate?
So it's going to be probably slightly north of 16 cents. The CMS is by far your biggest piece of that pie. And then I think after that, we're talking about things like mental health and then also supplementing the courts.
So the bottom line is, if the state did their part, we could reduce our taxes by 16 cents.
That's right.
Okay, let me go back to the charter school enrollment, because I have a problem really understanding what we're really doing. So we get told by CMS how many students will be going to charter school, right?
We do.
And we give CMS the $8 million, and then they pay it to the charter schools on a quarterly basis.
My understanding, and I don't know about whether it's quarterly or monthly, but they receive bills from the charter schools. Of course, they have to verify that, it has to be a resident of Mecklenburg County. And it can be any charter school in the state. It doesn't have to be just Mecklenburg County. They then pay that charter school based upon their per pupil allocation.
So the real question is, how do we true up at the end of the year to determine that CMS actually gave, in this case, $8 million to charter schools?
That's a good question, and it's not going to be, like any budget, it's a budget. It's not going to be exact, so the spending may be different. They do provide us with their estimates of how much they think they're going to have in number of pupils. But we don't have a true up where we recoup funds in any way. They have some flexibility within their allocation, just like they do the other purpose codes. But we have continued conversations with them about how the county dollars are.
So the bottom line is, if, for example, we didn't owe charter schools the $8 million, whatever's left, CMS keeps.
That's right.
And do we get an accounting for that?
We get monthly reports from them around their use of county dollars on that purpose code level.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Griffin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Adrian, you're going to get a figure for the portion of the tax rate that comes from, that supports CMS. The other question I have, and colleagues, you've heard me say this before, it's just indefensible that we don't know how MEC Pre-K is performing when they go to CMS. That's just indefensible. Kids just don't miraculously go from pre-K, kindergarten, to third grade reading. There's a transition. You're either pre-reader, emerging reader, a beginning reader, and reader. But you do read somewhere in between there. You also learn to count to 10. And it's unfortunate that we get no feedback year after year. This is the fourth year. You've heard me say this, the fourth year that we get no feedback about whether those kids can count to 10 or 20, okay? And the other part is I got some information unsolicited that they don't know either. Now, I don't know whether that's accurate or not, so I won't, broadcast that. But that's just that's ridiculous, number one. Number two, if you don't like the MEC Pre-K approach, I picked up the foster care approach. Now, foster care, they belong to us. They don't belong to anybody else, okay? And so 6% of those little foster care boogers are college ready and career ready at 8th grade last year. 6%. That means 94% are not college ready and career ready going into high school. Now, we get really excited about all these other little progressive things, but we don't get excited about sending our kids to high school illiterate, can't function, can't count. It makes no sense to me, colleagues, that we don't put some pressure on CMS to provide more detailed data about how kids are performing, particularly the least of it. Education is critical to everything y'all talk about. Affordable housing, good jobs, health, wealth even.
That's right.
Education is critical. And we're going to have to figure it out morally or fiscally or something, how to get that data, so that if they need some help in kindergarten, K2, then let's target those dollars. Because, Mr. Chairman, when you read our priorities on education, it's just not education. It says aligning investments to improve college and career readiness outcomes for all students. All students. That's our priority. And I just think because they're what, 1.1 billion? Education and literacy is 1.1 billion for the whole budget, Mr. Manager?
That sounds right. Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, literacy.
And so education is upstream, not downstream. Downstream is all the people we're picking up, criminal justice, you name it. We got to do a better job, and they are partners. And I would hope that at least if there's no mercy on MEC pre-K, have mercy on foster care, because they belong to us. And let's figure out what we can do. And Mr. Manager, my question to you, can the staff do an analysis to figure out what we need to pay for in addition to the money that we're giving them? Can we pay more money to make sure we got support for foster care kids?
That is something certainly staff can explore. The way I'll respond to your question this way is that Dr. Campbell and her counterpart have been meeting routinely to discuss the investments that we're making in that area. Although progress has been made with those conversations, there's still more to discuss. As you know, the enrollment and the year for those students have already started and passed, so anything that we'll bring forward or what comes out of those conversations will be for next fiscal year. So that is something that we can fold into those conversations with CMS and see where we go.
Well, I'm going to give you this right off the state database for foster care kids.
Thank you.
Does that include CPCC? Does that include CPCC?
We can move forward.
All right. So thank you. This next section is a little bit longer. It's going to cover all of the recommended budget increases agency by agency. And so starting off with AFM, Assets and Facility Maintenance. $2.1 million is estimated as the increase for maintenance, utilities, and security. The budget includes an additional program manager to help oversee the critical home repair program, which is recommended for an increase of $1.5 million to include emergency repair. $100,000 in one-time funding is recommended to support the transition of a department director. In Child, Family, and Adult Services, $4.4 million is recommended to fund operating and startup costs for the facility-based crisis center operated by Alliance Health. $2 million will fund 20 new positions and operating funding to enhance child protective services and foster care. $345,000 will fund social engagement events, training, and other age-friendly initiatives. And there is an administrative position to support services for adults and a position to support interpreting services. The recommended budget includes a fund balance allocation to fund the Homes grants for 2027. This is the estimated annual cost for the grants for 1 year based upon the trends for the program. Street outreach for homeless residents through Hearts for the Invisible is recommended for $911,000. There is $706,000 to support men's shelters, $54,000 for an increase for the North Tryon and Levine shelter, and $651,000 of one-time funding for the Giles Center as they work to transition to other funding sources. $528,000 will provide funding to continue 6 positions in CSS that were initiated with grant dollars, baselining 4 coordinated entry positions, and one-time funding to continue an expanded intimate partner violence clinician team. Funding is also recommended in the budget to continue reentry housing that will support 117 beds, as well as peer support. $422,000 will fund 4 pretrial release positions and 2 reentry positions based upon growing demand in criminal justice services. And one-time funding is also included to complete reaccreditation with the National Association of Pretrial Services Agencies. $264,000 will provide the local portion of state increases for court officials, document management, and to support the Larry King Clubhouse. Also want to point out that, like the other state partners, there is an offset to the funding for the salary increases that did not occur in fiscal year 2026 for the courts as well. The recommended budget includes $1.6 million and 4 positions for Project Boast. $100,000 is included to support University City Partners, and $120,000 in one-time funding is recommended for Project Rise and will be used to study mixed-use development opportunities in underserved areas of the county. 4 positions are recommended to support growing demand for elections, and $62,000 for software and moving services. $902,000 is needed to fund increases in maintaining and operating our enterprise financial system. For housing and community development, $4.1 million is recommended to continue and to expand the critical home repair program. The expansion will include $1.5 million to provide emergency repairs for seniors. Existing NOAA agreements will require an additional $451,000. The manager's recommended budget includes $250,000 to fund permanent supportive housing program for seniors through Freedom Fighting Missionaries, and 2 additional positions, a director and support assistant, are recommended as we work to set up this new department. The budget includes $664,000 to baseline the MEC Pathways internship program, expand Guardhouse by 8 interns, and the creation of a social worker pathways program through JCSU. The budget for HR also includes $68,000 for background screening and for software. $476,000 funds various software in the IT department. Funding for land use and environmental services is primarily from fees for services. The budget includes $5.6 million for stormwater and solid waste capital and operating needs, and $935,000 to support 14 new solid waste positions. This year, we are expected to open the new main library. When it opens later this year, the new library will be staffed with existing positions as well as 24 additional positions that are recommended in the budget. A new safety manager is also recommended to improve system-wide security, and $84,000 will support a phone system upgrade and various facility costs. Within the manager's office, an additional strategy and innovation analyst is recommended to support work managing the balanced scorecard, as well as additional performance management needs. Also, funding is included to continue our partnership in the Quality of Life Explorer and to conduct the budget survey separately from the community survey to better align the results with the budget timeline. The medical examiner's office will be going through some changes in the upcoming year as we shift from supporting Gastonia under our service area. The recommended budget includes $100,000 for some equipment replacement, and $99,000 will support a contracted pathologist that can provide autopsy coverage. The manager is recommending $1.7 million to increase funding for Road to Hire. This will be matched by the City of Charlotte, and additional funding is anticipated from the corporate community. The new funding will bring the county's support for the program to $2.6 million. $700,000 of one-time funding is recommended to reestablish a budgeted contingency that can be utilized throughout the year by board action. There is $300,000 to support Vision to Learn, an organization offering free exams and glasses to students in low-income communities. $200,000 will begin a new partnership with Year Up United Career Labs that provides training to strengthen career skills and connect participants with jobs. $200,000 is also recommended to support a nonprofit service provider located in the LaSalle property. Also, $90,000 is included in the manager's recommended budget for the Impact Camp, a skilled trades summer camp at JCSU serving 300 8 to 13-year-olds. Funding for Park and Recreation includes $6.4 million for capital reinvestments, including $6.2 in one-time funding for capital maintenance, which will bring the total to $10.2 million, and an additional project manager to help oversee the work. The budget includes $1.4 million and 6 new positions, along with operating funds for new parks and amenities that are coming online. An increase for event security and staffing of $500,000 is needed, which will be funded with the fees that are paid by event organizers. 4 new positions are recommended to expand programming at Eastway Regional Rec Center, and a facility manager is recommended to support Latta Place. Funding is included in the Health Department to support staffing needs in our clinics and immunizations and mobile dental supplies. There is a senior public information officer recommended for the Public Information Department, along with funding to support live Spanish interpreting for board meetings. The budget for the Sheriff's Office includes $2 million for inmate and medical care based on contractual increases for services. The cost for out-of-county juvenile detention is increasing due to increases in the per diem cost charged by the state, as well as population growth. The $1.3 million increase will bring the total cost to $3.9 million. An increase of $1.1 million is needed for meal services, and $516,000 funds overtime needs in the jail. The budget for the new Tax Administration Office includes $1 million to support the upcoming revaluation and $80,000 for growing postage cost. So here is a summary of the net positions in the recommended budget. There's a total of 63 net new positions, and we are expecting that that number will be reduced by 42 by the year end as we assess some options that we are still working through. There were 3 positions added by the board in fiscal year 2026. We identified 55 positions that can be reduced, and 94 new positions are recommended, and I have noted the increases for each agency here on this slide. Now I'll pause and see what questions you all have about that section.
Commissioner Meyer?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Adrian. I do have a few questions. We don't, the numbers look great, but we don't know really what the requests were. Like, for example, the Sheriff's Department, I don't know, is he happy, or they, those are I do have that, and we can't go through every single thing, but do we ever see the requests? And in particular, I was thinking about the library.
No, you never see the full request. That is something that is managed between the manager and the cabinet. Regarding the sheriff is very happy with the recommendation for your consideration.
And so on 21, YFS, 20 new positions. This is fantastic under foster care. Do we know exactly what those positions will be?
So there are going to be 18 positions, and I'm not going to give you the exact titles, but there are 18 positions for child welfare, 2 positions due to demand in youth and family services. There is another administrative position for interpreting and another position for services for adults.
Dr. Campbell has more specifics.
Okay.
Thank you. So the new positions will be applied across the range of service points in child welfare. So from the very front door at the investigative portion all the way through to permanency with family intervention in between, they'll all see additional resources to shore up the work.
Okay, wonderful. I'm so excited about that. Thank you. And then I just want to make note, Hearts of the Invisible, that is a remarkable amount. I'm very excited. Such a great organization that we're supporting. Number 23, NOAA's. Now, they come to us sometimes in the middle of the year asking about a new project. Are we prepared for those projects? And then slide 24, we already talked about library. So NOAA, are we prepared? Is that something we kind of are?
So first off, this amount is not for new projects that may come up during the year.
Okay.
This is the cost that is due to them based upon the agreements that have been entered into. And so as they bring those units online, there's an additional cost in the budget.
And so when they do come to us, because they often do come to us with a new project, does that come out of fund balance? How have we done that in the past?
That is a good example of why we're restating this unrestricted contingency, the $700,000 that's listed in the non-departmental section. As unplanned expenses come forward throughout the fiscal year, that is one option that the board has available. Or yes, I can come and request that you appropriate dollars from fund balance.
Okay. All right, I think that's it for right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Dunlap.
Okay, thank you. The $3.5 million for the homes program, is that a reduction? And if so, how much?
No, I believe it's actually, it may be a little bit of an increase. So for the homes program, you'll recall back during the last revaluation, the board allocated $8 million for the homes program, and we've been spending it fairly consistently. We believe that based on the trends that we have seen last year, that 3.1 is going to be what it's going to take to do the program again for 2027.
Okay, I was of the opinion that that money was allocated on an annual basis. And I thought it would increase over the time if it wasn't spent.
It was out, we have typically carried that money forward, and we have now spent most of that funding. There's a little bit of it that will fall to fund balance, but because we're reallocating this amount, it kind of takes care of that.
Okay. And you just answered my question about the contingency, what can be used out of it. But of course, that takes approval by the majority of the board.
It does. That's
All
correct.
Right. And then based on this $80,000 increase in postage costs, it just seems to me that it's time for us to put back on our legislative agenda the ability to do electronic mailing. We tried that, and we were not successful because of the media. But if you understand the complaints that we have from mail carriers and mail service, there's no guarantee that even the the 80,000 will cover the cost. So I'm going to ask that we consider adding back to our legislative agenda the ability to do electronic mailing to notify people of late taxes. I'm good.
Commissioner Rodriguez McDowell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So on page 22, Community Support Services, I don't see Charlotte Center for Legal Advocacy broken out, and I'd like to know if just how that funding is standing at this point.
Okay, we don't have a change to it, but we can get you the exact number for what's in the budget.
Okay, so you can't tell me if the programs were restored that were reduced last year's?
There was not a restoration of legal advocacy from the amount that was reduced last year.
Okay, all right. All right, my next question is on Project Boast, 1.5 million. I get this is for, future growth triggered by the transit sales tax. What about the timing on this? Like, it kind of seems like the actual rollout of, this program is, going to take a little while. And so I still don't think we should be funding this out of our budget. I think it should be coming from the 1 cent sales tax personally. And when you are in budget talks like this, where you're looking at every dollar, I really do think that does matter. And I know that when I've said it in the past, it seems like everybody's saying, 1.5 million is no big deal. But when you're getting down to this level of funding, I think it is a big deal, and that transit sales tax ought to be paying for those positions, in my view. But the question is about timing. Is this 1.5 million, how, is it going to be spent this year? Are we going to bring on those positions this year?
Yeah, thank you for that question. You'll recall that Roger Johnson provided you a couple of updates at your regular meeting, so I'll have him come forward and provide you a refresher on the timeline and any other additional context that'll help you.
Thank you, Manager Ryan. Chairman, Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell, that's a very good question. As you may recall from the update, we have an escalating request over time as those particular projects and programs ramp up that should coordinate directly with the increase in investment over time. When we went about doing a couple of steps since we've last spoken to you, we've learned additional information to validate our original assumptions. One is there are transportation investments and there are transit investments. The transit investments are being run by the city, and they're going to start almost immediately, meaning the sidewalks, the bus stations, and other things associated with that. The transportations, the easements, the rails, that's going to happen at a later time as the MPTA has its governance structure in place and then goes out to bid. So the answer to your question is the work will begin immediately on the transit side of things. The city is already going out to bid for some of those, is my understanding. And then that work will ramp up over time as the Transportation Authority starts going out for bid as well.
Okay, I think I might need to have a side conversation with you on this because 1.5 million for 4 positions seems a lot for the stage that we're at, so.
Absolutely. This is a combination of both hiring employees and providing third-party service providers, such as a nonprofit organization such as Climb or Legal Aid, who will provide legal services to these particular businesses so that they can both do 2 things. One, work on contract discussions so that they have rights and not be displaced. And then the second part is helping them with the scope and scale of bidding opportunities when these opportunities come to bear so that they can have legal contracts that are meaningful for their particular business. It also includes financial aid, not financial aid, but financial training so that businesses can get their affairs in order to be applicable for a loan, whether that's through a CPA or a nonprofit organization. It could also be sort of QuickBooks training because we're not trying to provide a service just for free. We're trying to get their books in order and teach them how to maintain those books going forward. And all of those will be through a third-party service provider. So the answer to your question is that is a lot of money for 4 positions because it's much more than 4 positions. It's a combination of 4 people who are going to oversee the administration of a lot of contracts.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Commissioner Griffin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The homes program, help me with that. I've always been like $1 million a year. Now it's 3.5 million. Can somebody explain the homes process right now? And as it relates to Hearts for the Invisible and the homeless, can we figure out a way how to do a census as to where people are coming from? Are they being bused into Charlotte? Are there our kids, our adults who have fallen off the track and can't get back on? That's information I think will be important. Because if there are systems that are failing, we need to figure out how to shore up those systems.
Thank you.
Youth and Family Services, the 20 positions, would that meet our best practices, standards in terms of serving kids in that area? Do we need more positions? And if so, let's make sure we factor those in. Criminal justice, does this include the 4 or 5 positions that the Clerk of Superior Court is asking for and the continuation of the Larry King Center? And on the sheriff's portion of it, we started at 1,600. We're at 2,000. So the sheriff actually needs all of that support. Mr. Manager, I heard you say that he was very pleased with that. We're going to, if we start continuing to increase that rate, are we going to be able to support the inmates that we have? And that's a big jump from 1,600 before the arena law to 2,000. That's a big jump. And as my colleagues have asked earlier about the state's portion of whatever it is, that is a huge jump for Mecklenburg County. There were several questions. I had rolled those out before my bell sounds. Did y'all get those? I want the chairman to cut me off.
We did. We'll tag team. Dr. Campbell.
Yeah, let me start with the homeless question and where the people are coming from and if we know that. So.
And the money.
Well, so we do know that there are a range of circumstances that cause people to be unhoused in our community. So there are people who move here and they are already unhoused. That is not the majority, though. The majority of people, I think, are from the region and find themselves in difficult circumstances. There are a set of people who are the chronic homeless, but a lot of people are entering first-time homelessness here in the last few years. We have, between our point-in-time count and our HMIS, our Homeless Management Information System, mechanisms by which to track these data in terms of what caused homelessness, where they're coming from, what their disabling conditions are that might require long-term permanent supportive housing in order to be rehoused and keep that housing. So we are happy to provide for you all the information you might be interested in that space in terms of the picture of what our unhoused population looks like. Remind me what your question about the money.
Foundation for the Carolinas will be producing like $40 or $50 million to support. The focus is pointed on the county now taking the lead as opposed to the nonprofits and private sector. So,
well, you want to go?
Or you're talking specifically the Home for All program?
Home for All.
Yes, so you're absolutely correct. The foundation is solely responsible for the fundraising component. This board has made it very clear to me that we will not fund any aspects of that program, that we're only going to provide the services as those services are funded. And I remain committed to that. As you know, there has been a change of the guard at the foundation.
Yeah.
With Kathy Bassant's announcement to retire and now Laura Clark stepping in. So I do suspect there's going to be some transition there that may throw us off a little with our timeline. But the mission hasn't changed, the commitment hasn't changed as well. And certainly I am mindful of the direction you gave me pertaining to that. So the expectation is, yes, they will raise those dollars. If not, we're not going to provide the services.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
And Yolanda Griffin's going to respond to the homes question you have.
Okay, just to clarify your question, Commissioner Griffin, you wanted to understand the process around the homes program?
The update, yeah.
Okay, so with the homes program, that is a seasonal program that we administer. For this particular year or past year, it is tied to county funds as well as if you're in the town of Davidson funds. So individuals are able to submit an application through us. It is seasonal, so we take applications between the period of July 1st to about November 21st, around the third week of November. When individuals apply for that program, you do have to own your home, live in your home, have consistently lived in your home for a 3-year period of time. We do evaluate based off of income as well. So it's based off of 80% of the area AMI. So for a household of 4 this past year, you could earn up to about $89,000 and potentially qualify for the homes program. With that, your grant that you receive is based off the value of your home. So the max grant that individuals could receive this past year from county funds was around $650. For Davidson, it was $534. The average that people received was around $523 in a grant amount. This past year, we approved over 5,000 applications. It does generally increase a bit each year, and so that's where that $3 million comes from. It was a little over $3 million that we awarded in grants this past year from county funds.
Why are we doing this alone? I mean, only the city of Davidson. Why isn't the city participating?
They used
started
to.
off.
The city of Charlotte used to participate, and they
The
decided
city
not.
did, they ended their participation because they were funding theirs with ARPA dollars, American Rescue Plan Act dollars.
But they are principally responsible for all of this growth that's coming in, that's making the values of people's property go up. I mean, they should step up to the plate.
Who is that, the city?
Mr. Chairman, the city,
Yes.
I think. That's just my opinion.
I think everyone should be participating, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second.
Regarding your other, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Yolanda. Go ahead.
I second that.
Was there another question?
Well, no, I had
No, not on
two. The other two remaining questions, I think, you had a lot. Regarding the 4 positions with the clerk of court, no, they are not in my recommended budget for the purposes of what you've supported in the past. They are a state responsibility. I do believe certainly the clerk made a strong case, and I don't disagree with that. But being consistent with your practices in the past regarding funding court positions, it's not in my recommendation. That is the only reason it's not in there. And then regarding the sheriff's office, responding or supporting the sheriff in the increasing demand associated with the jail population, Deputy County Manager, Chief of Staff Derek Ramos is working with their team to learn more what this may mean possibly from a financial perspective. We don't have the answers to that yet, but I am confident that we will learn more. As we learn more, we'll bring it forward to you. However, it may not be a part of my budget, but Sheriff McFadden, along with Deputy County Manager Ramos, will all figure it out.
Yeah, the point, Mr. Chairman, that I was raising is that at the rate of increase of the residents of the county jail, that may create a problem down the line for us, because it is, this is not Central Prison in Raleigh. This is a county jail.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Point taken. Commissioner Powell?
Thank you. So that was my first question. And I guess it sounds, just confirmed that Deputy County Manager Ramos is looking at how much it's going to cost for Jail North.
Yes, and those conversations were initiated prior to this public announcement the last day or so. So they're moving along. We just don't have that information available.
So nothing in this budget is related to that.
It's not because I don't know.
Okay, that's
I haven't
good.
shared anything above and beyond what I'm recommending.
Thank you. And maybe it's on a different page, but I just want to make sure that the Pivot program, the high school internship program that was born out of participatory budgeting is in here?
That would be in the DCR budget, the community resource budget, so it should still be there, yeah.
Do you know if it's still there?
It is.
Okay. And just a question, because I saw that we're paying for interpretation fees. Is the interpreter available 24/7, or is that just during day hours?
So the interpreters are used as they're needed. I don't know the exact times when they're actually in the office, so we can.
So does
For Suzette,
These are interpreters.
for which department?
Are you talking about the interpreters of the board meetings, or the interpreters that are in?
It's in the budget for,
She's talking about the interpreter that's being added to the CFAS
Yeah.
budget.
so is that person available all the time, or is it just, or do you know the answer?
I don't know the answer. Letitia, do you know whether or not interpretation services are available to the after-hours investigation team?
Thank you. And one more question related to that, if anyone knows the answer. If somebody was in an urgent situation, and I have one, like the person had to go to a pharmacy and they had to have insulin, and the pharmacy didn't have insulin, and nobody could communicate that to each other, could they call 311 for an interpreter? Like, is there an interpreter at 311? Or,
I'm not sure, because
We don't-
that may fall on the pharmacy themselves, if you're talking
Yeah.
a separate entity.
they don't even have,
Okay.
they don't have interpreters at the pharmacy, so I
I
wonder.
don't know if that's offered by 311, we can find out.
Yeah, okay. That concludes my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Leek.
We are talking about services serving children, families. Do we know the number of families that says family of husband, wife, and children that we are servicing throughout Mecklenburg County? The number.
I do not have
What
that.
is it costing the county?
How much the total cost is or how many people are being?
Well, that's what I want to know, how many families we really serve. Because one way they get services through the school system, they get services through social service, mental health. Those different agencies are contributing to impacting the lives of the people in that family. So how many families do we have under that umbrella?
We'll
You
have
may
to-
not have it today.
We don't have it today. We'll have to do some research.
That would be a concern. And then as we talk about growth, people who are non-taxpayers in Mecklenburg County who receive services from us, how many do we have? Because they get off the bus, the plane, or train.
That I don't know. We'll include it in our research as we look into your other question.
But that would help us to know about the growth that we are experiencing in Mecklenburg County, which we cannot continue to take care of. I'm not saying we're going to, what am I trying to say? But anyway, that county needs to take on the responsibility of their families, if possible. Thank you so much, and to commend the work that you guys have done, and for the public to see it and hear it and be a part of it. It's outrageous. It's top-notch. And our chairperson, I want to thank you for leading us in this process, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you,
I
Commissioner.
hope the minutes will reflect this,
Thank
and the
you.
staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Before we move on to the last section, Adrian, Mr. Manager, you were going to answer a question. I'm going to let Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell tee this back up so she can get her answer. I think you were going to answer.
I'm sorry, which question?
About the Charlotte Center for Legal Advocacy, were you about to provide more information?
Well, no, I was looking at it this way. That's another example. It's not in my budget. I was looking at Sonia to see, looking for Sonia to see if she had anything to
Isn't it
add.
under?
I do have something to add. The Charlotte Center for Legal Advocacy, our team was looking into that. It's $150,000 that's in the budget. That is the same amount that's in the budget in 2020.
Who is that now? I didn't hear you.
Charlotte Center for Legal Advocacy.
Center for what?
Charlotte Center for Legal Advocacy.
Legal advocates.
Okay, so you're saying that it's funded at 150, which is the same as last year, which was a huge cut from previously was 408,000.
Correct.
And so it's not being reinstated to the previous.
No, the reduction's not being reinstated. And again, that's one of other examples when you look at this contingency dollars, that's an option you have available, unless you decide to do something with my recommendation.
Okay, that's something I'll be advocating for at the straw votes. Thank you.
All right, Adrian, let's go ahead and move to the last section. Thank you.
All right, so now I'm going to touch on law enforcement service districts and fire protection service districts. There are 6 different law enforcement service districts that provide law enforcement for the unincorporated areas of the county. And this slide shows the recommended tax rates for the districts. All of the tax rates are recommended to stay the same for fiscal year 2027. And those revenues are used to fund law enforcement service agreements that are provided by 4 separate agreements with Charlotte, Cornelius, Huntersville, and Pineville. The total for all of the service agreements comes to $24 million. The agreement with the City of Charlotte includes the McGuire Nuclear Plant. For Cornelius, this funding also includes $460,000 from the general fund for Lake Patrol on Lake Norman. And the allocation for Pineville includes fund balance that's allocated from the Pineville Service District, which was planned as part of the service delivery agreement. There are 5 different fire protection service districts. These are the same districts as the LESDs, but with the exception that Pineville is covered by the Charlotte Service District for fire services. This slide shows the current rates compared to the proposed rates for fiscal year 2026. All rates are recommended to remain the same with the exception of the Mint Hill Fire Protection Service District, which is requesting an increase of 0.5 cents to cover increasing operating costs. This request from Mint Hill was received at a late stage in the budget process, so it is not reflected in the recommended budget, but it will come back as a technical adjustment for the board's consideration at our straw vote meeting. Fire protection for the Charlotte Service District includes these volunteer stations, and the budget includes the proposed contract amounts which are noted here. These were the same amounts that were presented on April 28th by Mr. Gujarlapudi. And that is LESDs in fire protection. I'll take any questions before we shift to medic.
Oh, are we still doing medic separate?
Yeah, we're going to do medic separate.
It's next. Jim.
It's next.
It's Jim.
Yeah, go ahead, Commissioner.
I got a question.
Yeah.
The city,
Let's have some.
the city planning department, Mr. Manager,
Yes, George.
is allowing a lot of growth in those ETJ areas. I mean, like houses, condominiums, and all that stuff, right? So we have to pick up the bill to provide the services?
Public
What's
safety,
the- So what, seemingly that should be shared. I mean, shouldn't that?
Can you talk into the mic, sir?
It appears that it should be shared. The formula should be a little different, since they are the one creating that burden by putting so many properties at stake that the county fire needs to manage. There was a huge fire down on Lake Wiley on our side, and it was all kinds of fire people there. But more and more development is going to create more and more risk, is what I'm trying to say. And it seems like the burden should be shared a little bit different, Mr. Manager. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. All right, I think we can move on to medic.
All right, JP is going to come up and speak to these slides.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Great to see you all again. First, I'd just like to take a moment to thank the county manager for the opportunity to present the details of MEDIC's budget and for the county's continued strong support of MEDIC. I'd also like to extend a special thanks to Deputy County Manager Ramos and the Office of Management and Budget for assisting MEDIC this year through a challenging budget cycle. As this is EMS week, I would also like to recognize the men and women of MEDIC, along with our first responder partners, for the incredible life-saving work that they perform every day. This year's EMS week theme is Improving Outcomes Together. I believe that message will resonate as I review the investments the county is making in our critical mission to save lives, hold hands, and be prepared to respond when and where our community needs us. The county currently subsidizes, The county currently subsidizes approximately 24% of MEDIC's operating budget. This percentage has remained stable over the past 4 years, largely due to MEDIC's continued improvements in billing and collections, as well as in increased transport volumes that have generated additional revenue and helped offset rising operating costs. Prior to the EMS system study, MEDIC had already begun analyzing its staffing and resources to meet Priority 1 response times without using exemptions. Relying on our assessment, MEDIC requested funding in the fiscal year 26 budget, and the county approved 78 new positions, including 50 EMTs and 10 ambulances. The consultant, healthcare strategist, who completed the EMS system study using the same 2025 data, reached almost identical recommendations, unaware that the county had already approved these investments. We believe that the board's investments in MEDIC last year have already placed the agency on a clear path towards meeting or coming very close to meeting Priority 1 response time standards. As the new ambulances enter service and the agency reaches full staffing levels, we expect measurable progress. Given this trajectory, the most prudent course of action is to allow MEDIC to pursue these already funded goals while we continue to evaluate other response priorities and other potential EMS system changes that will result from the EMS system study. The recommended budget includes $8.5 million in new funding to support operational readiness, workforce development, fleet sustainability, and key EMS system improvements. $3.5 million for 5 additional ambulances that will increase MEDIC's fleet to 87 total ambulances by the end of next fiscal year. Expanding the fleet will improve response readiness, strengthen preparedness for major events, and provide greater day-to-day flexibility for vehicle maintenance and repairs. These additional units will also bring MEDIC's fleet capacity to approximately 135 to 145% of demand, which aligns with recommendations from the EMS system study. $2.2 million will fund 30 EMTs through the accelerated paramedic education programs. Based on current projections, these graduates will allow MEDIC to reach full paramedic staffing in 2028, which would be the first time the agency has achieved full paramedic staffing in nearly a decade. This investment reflects the current EMS labor market where sponsoring EMTs through paramedic education has become a widespread industry practice, and many new paramedic graduates are already committed to the agencies that supported their training. $3.3 million will support MEDIC's scheduled ambulance replacement plan, ensuring the fleet remains reliable and operationally ready. Remaining funds within this category will support EMS system study recommendations that enhance the dispatch integration of county fire departments and improve transparency in agency performance reporting, particularly response time performance metrics. $380,000 will increase MEDIC's subsidy that it provides to the county fire departments for cost avoidance associated with first responder-only responses. This adjustment reflects recommendations from the EMS system study and increases the total fire department subsidy from around $900,000 to $1.28 million for fiscal year 27. $372,000 will fund several positions tied directly to the EMS system study. These include clinical improvement analyst focused on stroke and trauma data analysis, an additional fleet mechanic, and an HR assistant manager. These roles are necessary as MEDIC's workforce continues to grow and is projected to surpass 700 full-time employees for the first time this year. The proposed adoption of a revised ambulance transport charge methodology for FY27 would establish transport rates at 300% of the Medicare ambulance fee schedule for all service levels and mileage. This approach creates a transparent, nationally recognized, and financially sustainable framework for ambulance billing that more accurately reflects the cost of delivering modern urban EMS services. This methodology aligns MEDIC with reimbursement strategies increasingly used across the EMS industry and follows recommendations from the EMS study consultants. Many agencies now benchmark transport charges to Medicare and to Medicare reimbursement rates. This model reflects national best practices and is being adopted by EMS systems across the country, including here in North Carolina. Some examples of North Carolina EMS agencies operating with similar reimbursement environments include Wake, Durham, Guilford, Cleveland, and Cabarrus will be moving to this similar model this next fiscal year. This change is necessary because reimbursement rates have historically not kept pace with inflation-driven cost increases, and as a result, the gap between the cost of providing EMS services and the reimbursement received for those services has continued to widen. MEDIC will issue a public information bulletin explaining this change and will coordinate with the County Public Information Office to ensure the public receives clear and accessible information about the updated billing billing methodology. And Board and Mr. Manager, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, before you take questions, I just want to underscore one of the recommendations in my budget to support Medic. That third sub-bullet, the $3.3 million to replace the ambulances. You may recall that our funding strategy to support that expense is tied to fund balance, right? Every year we leverage fund balance to replace them because they're one-time expenses. Well, as we anticipate the recommendations from the study at some point to have budget implications, I wanted to leverage the opportunity we have this fiscal year. So rather than utilizing one-time funding to support the ambulances, I'm recommending that we utilize $2.3 million this year so that those dollars are baseline in '27 and available in '28 to be repurposed to go towards any recommendations that may come from the study, to just minimize the fiscal impact that we may have associated with next year with those recommendations, as opposed to doing nothing. I just wanted to be clear on that.
Yeah, thank you for that, Mr. Manager. Let me start with Commissioner Powell.
Thank you. I love Medic. Thank you. And thank you for thinking ahead, because it's so critical. And I really appreciate that that's in there. And I want to say, nobody ever thinks about the mechanics of the ambulances, but I do. And so I was talking to someone recently in another county, and they had an emergency, and when the ambulance got to their house, it broke down. And I was like, wow, I don't think I'm ever going to hear that in Mecklenburg, I hope, because we have the
Not with our fleet staff.
world-class mechanics.
That's right.
As part of the study, maybe as part of your leadership, when you say full staffing, is it full staffing based on an old population, or is it full staffing based on the current population?
Full staffing based on current population and based on our current budgeted headcount as of fiscal year '26.
So, you talk to some professions where they're still operating on 2010 staffing, but this is 2026 needs based on the population.
That's right.
Okay. I think that's everything. I hope, it sounds like it's everything they need for now, and yay. Yay, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Leek.
Thank you for your presentation. I'm thinking about the city and its contributing to supporting the ambulance service and the service that medics provide for the citizens of Mecklenburg County and the city of Charlotte. So how much are we getting from the city?
We do not receive any funding from the city.
Stop right there, sir. Please, I don't mean it at all. Growth is because of the city, and we are unable to continue to take care of the population because the infrastructure has not met the growth. So have you talked with the city about their responsibility
No, ma'am, I have
and its citizens?
not about, I've not talked to the city about adding funding to Medic. No, ma'am.
Could you do that?
I'm sure we can discuss that.
Am I out of order, Mr.
You're
Mayor?
not out of order. I believe, I can't speak for our city manager. Sure, he'd be open to any conversation I bring forward on behalf of my board. I believe his initial response would be that, his contribution to this is the first responders, the fire department, because he's having to sort through that, supporting them, pay increases as well as response rates associated with these calls as well. So the city's contribution in this space here is with fire. I anticipate that's what he would say, and I think that's accurate.
Thank you. A handicap issue. We've talked to the city about this building, our building downtown. It's not equipped. So is that a part of, if something were to happen and we needed an ambulance to come, would you come or what?
Of course, yes, we'd still come, and we have equipment on our ambulance that could help us get into any situation. If we have to take someone up or down a flight of stairs, we can do that.
Well, I guess I can't say anymore because you're saying now from my manager that the city is not going to be held accountable to meet halfway with us in financing for Medic. And the growth is dependent upon the city.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is in terms of what their requirement is, and as you know, you all have requested that we engage in this study, and the study results will address not only Medic, but also the fire department as well, as relates to responding to
So
emergencies.
there is a study going on.
There is a study going on, yes.
That answers part of my question. And thank you so much, sir.
No problem.
Thank you.
Commissioner
Mr.
Griffin.
Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. JP, in respect to the last bullet item on that slide 36, since I'm the only person who raised my hand when Commissioner Leek said any seniors in the house, I have to ask this question. Medicare Part B pays 80% of the cost, so help me with that last bullet. Medic is planning to adjust fees to a new model that bases fees on 300% of the Medicare allowable rate. Help me with that.
That's right. So, sir, when with regard to seniors who are on Medicare, that's a fixed reimbursement amount.
Yeah.
So that would be 100% of Medicare. Medicare is not going to pay us any more for that, regardless of what we bill. But for all of our other entities that we bill, whether it's private pay or other types of insurance companies, we will bill at 300% of the base Medicare rate for that and mileage.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Okay. So, JP, let me, go ahead, George, and then I'll.
You didn't raise your hand.
No, I'm asking how you do that, how you charge somebody 300% more than what you placed the value on. How do you do that?
Absolutely. So the Medicare rate currently for ALS emergency is $525.61. Our proposed billing would be $1,576 for that same line item. Why? Because 100% of Medicare, the base rate, comes nowhere near close to covering the cost for our services. It's why, at a national level, our industry has been lobbying for years to get increased reimbursement from the federal government for Medicare. Medicaid is in a similar situation for us. So there's a significant number of population, especially that utilize ambulance services, that fall into that Medicare rate, that fixed rate. So in order for us to be able to keep the lights on, we have to be able to bill higher than that. The current rate that Medic bills for that ALS emergency is just under $1,200.
And JP, as context, you may want to call out what your peer communities are doing, Wake County and some of the other communities relative to this.
Absolutely. Well, there's a couple of other things too. So there is balanced billing legislation that is happening in other states. We anticipate that that may happen here in North Carolina. And typically when that happens, it requires the EMS services to utilize a percentage of Medicare as its base rate. The other thing is there are, like the county manager mentioned, there are other services that have either already been doing this or are moving towards this. So like, for example, Cabarrus County, our friends there shared with me that they are also moving to 300% of Medicare as their base rate. And so we're not just following suit, it is the way that the industry is moving forward. And there are multiple other EMS services, not only in the state, but in the country, that are at a point where we have to raise rates in order to be able to continue to provide the level of service that we do.
So Mr. Chair, my concern with this is that if you do what is being proposed, you create a structural deficit because the funds aren't going to necessarily be paid. Now, if I remember, a few years ago, Mecklenburg County bailed Medic out of a structural deficit that had been created from this billing process. And what I want to do is ensure that that's not going to happen again. Because we paid the bill for all the citizens who didn't pay the bill so that they wouldn't be harassed.
No, we didn't.
So, I don't foresee that being an issue with this. I think this is actually a better thing for us and gives us more flexibility too for the future if we have to adjust rates. I also think that this is more transparent, the way that it follows the Medicare fee schedule. And when you look at this, it could actually be a little bit more easy for people to understand versus how we do it today.
So let me go to Commissioner Meyer, then I have a comment.
So is Medic paid by the county, or Medic's paid by the county, or are they paid by Medic? So they're not 2553 starting, correct?
Well, Medic is not county employees,
Right, okay.
so we are Medic employees.
And what's the starting rate for an EMT?
The minimum wage for Medic is $20 an hour.
Okay.
How much?
I hope,
What did you
I hope
say
that
it
can
was?
raise someday.
I didn't hear you, sir. What did you say it was?
The minimum wage at Medic is $20 per hour, and our EMTs start, I think your specific question was EMTs. We start around $21 per hour for EMT.
Okay, thank you.
So I want to go to this, I want to make sure that I'm understanding the billing. So
Yes, sir.
if I'm on Medicare and the Medicare will reimburse me my cost for the service at $500, but I'll have a balance, I'll walk away with a balance of $1,000.
No, there'll be no change to you because
No, that's not
Medicare's, if you're on Medicare, it's a set rate. Doesn't
Okay,
matter what we.
so I thought it was saying 300% above the Medicare rate.
And that's just what we're going to set the standard rate for everything else.
Other people. For other people, non-Medicare.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, that's where I was disconnected.
Thank you for
because
clarifying that.
Yeah, I was not feeling that, so thank you.
It's still terrible.
Well, it is, but I'm thinking about it from our, the most vulnerable. I was thinking that they were
Yeah, we
impacted.
don't
at
want to do that, and we
300%
would not.
Trying to get.
Think about his
I was-
colleague.
I was thinking about my colleague, right. So no, thank you for that
Who lives
clarification.
in Palisade?
I don't want to take this up now. I want to take this offline because it's not directly tied to the budget, Mr. Manager. But what, I know we still have not resolved the issue between our firefighters. We're doing the study. But the questions that I would like to connect with you to get answered from my clarity is this. Number one, I want to understand why we don't have a model where a medic truck is like at a station with the fire truck so that it's dispatched differently throughout. Instead of everybody being on Wilkinson and being dispatched, they're not just in a firehouse somewhere where they can get all over the county relatively quick, right? That's number one, that the question, why I want to understand why we don't leverage that model, why there's not some level of agreement. The other thing I want to understand is what would it take, JP, for the firefighters not to have to go to the low acuity calls? Like what is the capacity? What's the number of trucks so that this board would say, okay, if you ponied up X number of dollars over a certain amount of time to get us to this number, we would be able to take care of the low acuity or priority one, whatever they call it. So, and again, I don't want to take it up now because it's basically off topic, but those are the things that I would like for us to discuss offline. And I just wanted to tee that up while I had you.
Absolutely, I can answer both of these things for you, so.
No? Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, JP.
You said you can do it now?
It's up to you.
No, well,
Yeah,
let's take it offline.
We'll take it offline.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of factors
There is-
I got you.
that contribute
I got
to
you.
that.
Take it offline.
But yes, I can answer those when we talk.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so for the last thing I've got here, just a reminder about the next steps that we have in the budget process. We have a budget public hearing that is scheduled for tomorrow evening at the Government Center. Straw votes will be held on the 28th, beginning at 9 a.m. here in this room. Based on the board's decisions, we will then draft an ordinance for consideration for adoption on June 2nd. In addition to the budget ordinance, that night, the board will also be asked to approve the capital project ordinances, which will provide the continuing appropriations for projects that are underway, new projects that are scheduled to begin in 2027, and any adjustments. The budget for the new fiscal year will then go into effect on July 1st. And that is all we have for today.
Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That concludes the item on the agenda.
All right, thank you. So a couple of things that we're going to do. We do have commissioner reports on the agenda, but before we get there, I just want to make sure, did anybody have a burning question that did not get answered? Let's go with Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell and Commissioner Meyer.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We didn't talk about MEC pre-K as far as the funding. I want to just make sure it's fully funded. There's, I assume, no expansion, no reduction?
It is fully funded, and I'll go back to my response to Commissioner Griffin that Dr. Campbell and her counterpart with CMS, they are looking at that program and pre-K programs in general, not just MEC pre-K. But as of now, we don't have any recommendations for your consideration that would impact 27. If we do have any, it will be towards 28, looking at 28.
Okay. And my last question is about, I really do want to echo what Commissioner Griffin said about the full-time employee pay, the minimum wage being raised. But I just want to make sure that we're not cutting full-time positions and replacing them with part-time to, to not.
Not at all.
We're not doing that.
Not at all.
Okay. I really
Again,
need
it
that
goes
assurance.
back to my message to you all that for those of you that were around and with the Great Recession, when we cut and all those things, it set us back. So that's a lesson learned for me as I was preparing our budget and working through all the challenges that we have, is not to repeat history, but learn from it and make sure that we don't make any decisions that may serve us well today, but will have downstream implications in 3 or 4 years from now.
Okay.
So for
And
that
I-
reason, it's nothing like that.
All right, I'm glad to hear that, because I think this whole idea, the magic of this budget, that you were able to pull off, I'm looking for where the other shoe is going to drop and where the cuts came from, that maybe we're missing. I'm not thinking of, what to ask. Like, can you provide a list of cuts, or, I just want to make sure that we're not missing some things, because it feels like this is sort of light. Like, we're not getting a whole lot of detail.
I respect that. My response is this. This was a collaboration. We really blew up our existing budget process that you're accustomed to and redesigned it. So what you're seeing is not just a reflection of Mike Bryan and his executive team, it's the cabinet as a whole. I would not have been able to pull this off without them rethinking differently and showing up differently in terms of how they develop their budgets. Otherwise, you would see a 2.24 cent tax rate increase if I would continue status quo. So I respect your curiosity, or however you want to frame it, but it is simply a collaboration in response to that. I decided not to continue to do business the way that we have in the past. And this is the results. So I welcome you poking holes in it. I'm very transparent. Adrian has provided you every decision that is in my budget. And I can assure you, even shifting that 1 cent over from the capital to the operating, because you have supported our decision to press pause, we are at a good place. I don't know what tomorrow may bring, but it won't be attributed to this recommended budget. Every year, there's a different set of challenges, but it won't be tied to this one here.
Awesome.
Coming to you,
Thank
Commissioner. Commissioner Meyer, Powell, then Leak.
Okay, well, she just took my question. I was going to ask if we could get a list of cuts. I mean, I'm sure there were cuts to this budget. I mean, there has to be, I would think. Is that possible?
Sure, and I mean, Adrian, do you have?
Yeah, I can speak to that. There's actually additional details in your budget book.
Okay.
On page 34.
Okay.
We broke out some of those bigger categories if you want to see more details.
So those categories on 34 show some cuts that.
That's
we
right.
made?
These are the things that we identified through our deep dive budget review. And again, that is, leveraging fund balance. There are some reductions to expenses, and then also identifying some revenue sources. So you can see all the detail on those.
Okay.
And again, it's examples like the AIM Up program, utilizing those dollars, the carry forward, the $4 million associated with the, what program was that, Adrian? The $4 million?
The child development.
The child, no, lighting.
The child care subsidy?
Yeah, the child care subsidy. It's repurposing existing dollars like that from our deep dive analysis that we have available to make these investments that we're presenting to you. If you reverse them or walk back those decisions, then yes, we're back at square one, having a different conversation, and then you have to figure out how you're going to work through a property tax rate increase that I think you don't want to do. You can't have it both ways. You can't have me bring forward and be creative and rethink our budget, and put it before you, and then you say you don't want a tax rate increase. And then I come with a tax rate increase, then you say, well, what can we walk back? We got to be consistent, and that's what you're seeing here.
Well, and I want to say I'm not so much poking holes, and I don't think my colleagues are either. We just want to be completely informed
I appreciate
about
that.
what we're looking at, and that's all.
Well, the numbers are on page 30?
34.
34.
I'm looking at them, thank you, and I'll study it. Also, hope that this awesome budget team gets a really good vacation after this.
They deserve
it.
I totally agree.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Powell, then Leak.
Thank you. So Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell asked if any full-times would be moved to part-time. Is there a difference in pay rate? So only full-time is going to 25.53?
Only full-time.
Only full-time?
Only full-time position.
So everybody else is 20?
Part-time, just depending on what their rate of pay is. You're thinking about like lifeguards. A lot of them are part-time positions, seasonal positions.
But they're still at-
part-time, they're not moving. This is for full-time position.
Okay, but they're still at 20?
I don't know exactly what
That's
their
right.
salaries are.
So everyone's at 20?
At a minimum, they're 20, Doc?
Jonette's going to provide some clarity.
Thank you for that.
Just to provide a little bit of clarity there, well, first of all, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
The part-timers, as Mike mentioned, the lifeguards, they are going to remain at $20 an hour because what we have discovered is we have some of the highest paid lifeguards in the area, right? Now, we have some positions that we have full-time equivalents, right? So, for example, if I am a full-time librarian, but we have a part-time person who's doing those exact same duties, we get in some wage and hour issues if we don't move those people. So those would be some of our limited part-time, which is in the numbers that you all have. But our temp staff will not move, our lifeguards will not move. It's mostly going to impact our full-time employees. I hope that gave you some additional
It helps.
clarity.
I just, I missed that part, that it was just full-time. So now I'm aware of it, but thank you. And then the other thing is I agree with Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell about, it seems intuitive that the transit tax should pay for both, but it's also so important to us to help small businesses survive. And I was just in Burke County where I think the county did it. Somebody was involved because there was a highway and bridge construction happening and all the small businesses had help, saying who was open, when they were, it was like billboards, letting you know who was open. And I smiled and I thought, I hope we have that to help our small businesses. But I understand the frustration with funding. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Leak.
Let me first say thank you to the staff and to the manager. I have been in Charlotte since 1964, and I have yet to see the kind of budget we got today received from the committee and the manager and his staff. And it's the kind of budget that looks at the people in the community. And everybody keeps talking about pay raises or non-pay raises. And after he finished his presentation the other day, people got up jumping and shouting, talking how great it was. And it's still great because it answers the question of serving the people in the community. So what's the problem now is let's understand why we're here. And I don't believe our manager would put us in a position of no position when I'm talking about Central Piedmont, who have 50 or 60 people who are part-time workers that look like me. Full-time workers don't look like me at Central Piedmont Community College. That's what I get. That's what I've been hearing the complaint about. And I've been receiving all kind of accolades about this budget that speaks to the needs of the people who need it the most. So I needed to say that, and I'm not upset. I'm just concerned about what direction we go in when we don't have a tax increase. Well, maybe you want a tax increase. Maybe that's what some of you want. But that's not what the manager gave us. Okay. He's the greatest guy on the campus. So I said it. I can stand up to it. And I don't have Alzheimer's. and I have never missed a meeting.
You good?
So thank you for the opportunity to serve.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Manager.
Thank you all, colleagues, for
Sick
the
of it.
substantive, excuse me, Commissioner Lee. Thank you, colleagues, for your questions and, excuse me, Commissioner.
She's looking at me like she wants to
Commissioner,
do something.
look, excuse us for 1 second, please. Let us finish the meeting. Colleagues, thank you for your substantive comments and feedback that was provided today. I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the entire board, to everyone in this room, to who you represent within your departments and across this entire enterprise, to say thank you on behalf of the board for your hard work to get us to this point. So we salute you, we applaud you, we thank you for what you've done. Colleagues, at this point, it's no longer the manager's budget, it's ours.
Thank you.
So whatever you want to see, whatever you want to do, the bottom line is this, is that we'll have an opportunity to come together and you can make suggestions. What we're going to do is the same that we've always done. If you want to remove something or you want to add something, what are we going to remove? Okay? We'll vote it up or vote it down. It's really that simple at this point. So it behooves all of us to get into the book. I will tell you this, when we come to the straw vote, we're not going to go out of bounds, right? We're going to stick straight to the straw vote and what that's about. And if we have other questions that need to be answered, it'll just have to happen offline. I plan to make sure that the manager and staff are not surprised. I understand that people might want to keep things close to the chest. I respect that, but what I'm asking us to do is to respect staff and not try to come with the okey-doke or some surprise in the 12th hour and surprise even us as colleagues. So to the extent that you can communicate with me or whoever you feel comfortable with, let's make sure that we're communicating effectively so that I can make sure that the manager is fully prepared, and we want to make sure that you have the support that's needed to make those adjustments as well. So I hope that is relatively clear. We'll hear from the public tomorrow and, take that advice accordingly. I do want us to remember, and someone brought up this point, which I think was a fantastic point. The manager has added $700,000 as contingency for us. I think it was you, Commissioner Meyer. $700,000 in contingency for those things that come off cycle if we see that we want to fund or advocate for or do something with, as long as it makes sense, aligns with our priorities, and there is support for it, where previously was $125,000. The final comment that I do want to say is, Mr. Manager, I appreciate, I know that I was one of the ones that was adamant against the tax increase, and I mentioned that at the fall retreat, and I also asked us to look at those capital projects. And I appreciate the staff being able to do that, because I did not think it was appropriate for the community to have to absorb another tax increase.
Thank you.
And so I think you have delivered what we've asked for as far as your recommendations, but that's exactly what they are to the community that's listening. The manager and our staff have made recommendations. We will make the decisions. And with that, I don't think that there are any commissioner reports. So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Loud.